Hello everyone, I'm Danielle. Thank you for joining me here this afternoon. I have for us a short, sweet yoga flow that you might like to use in the afternoon when you just need a little break away from the desk and a chance to find some movement in the body. So let's get started. Making your way down onto your shins and give a little space between your knees. Let the hands find the floor in front of you and start to walk your way forward. Let the elbows drop down. Forearms, palms soften onto the floor, and maybe that forehead comes down towards the space that you're working in. If it feels a little bit too far away today, then just place one hand on top of the other, resting the forehead down on the back of the hands. Nice. Allow the eyes to close off if they haven't already. Find a big breath in through the nose. Feel that belly pressing into your thighs. And exhale out through the mouth. Let's try one more like that. Big breath in through the nose, filling up. And letting go of your morning so far, breathing out through the mouth. Finding some movement now. Start to walk your hands round to the right hand side of your mat. Let the chest become heavy again. Forehead melts back down towards the mat. Starting to feel a stretch into the side of the body there. Maybe you can press that left sit bone back towards the heel a little bit more. And you might even choose to place the left hand on top of the right, interlacing the fingers together here. Take a big breath into that side body. And then slowly start to walk yourself round to the left hand side, finding that heaviness again in the chest, forehead, elbows soften down. Feeling that stretch into the side of your body now. Feeling that expansion between your ribs, enjoying, maybe choosing to find that interlace of the hands if you need to. And then softly we'll walk our hands back through center. Start to lift yourself up into a tabletop position. So we're coming now into all fours, bringing the hands just underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Softly start to sink that belly down towards the floor. Lift your gaze and your chest towards me. Press into your palms. Start to tuck the chin in towards the chest. Let's take one more. Slowly, belly sinking down. Chest opening, drawing forwards. Tuck that chin in towards the chest and round through that back body. Amazing. And slowly coming back to a nice flat back now. Walk the hands forward, one hand's distance in front of you. You might choose to take the knees a little wider. And now we start to find a little bit of free movement here. So just something that feels nice in your body. So some big circles with the hips. Maybe the ribs get involved. Can you release through the head and the neck? It can feel good to tuck your toes as you send your bottom towards your heels, stretching into that space as well. Yeah, so you might feel and look for areas of tightness. Maybe you find one and you pause and you breathe. And then softly we start to just wiggle ourselves back to that tabletop position. So knees are back underneath the hips now. Weight comes into the right hand. Pick the right toes up, pivot them round behind you as you extend that left leg out long and reach the left arm up to the sky, stacking your shoulders. Really nice. Big sweep of the left arm alongside the ear, reach forward with your fingertips, lift through the hips, arching through the side body. And then slowly start to let your fingertips slide across the mat as you bend into that left knee any amount. Bottom's almost coming towards the heels. Big circle of that left arm up and over the head, breathing in, feel the side stretch first. And then sliding your bottom back towards the heels, feeling into the hips a little bit here, really nice. Next time you rise yourself up, reach your left arm up to the sky, stack your shoulders. Invitation to stay just as you are. If you would like a little bit more, you might choose to hover through that left leg. Yeah, so starting to feel some engagement in the core. And then maybe see how it feels to bend that knee, bring the heel in towards your bottom, reach down and see if you can take hold of the top of the foot with the hand. If you have it, then go ahead, kick the foot into the hand, think about opening through the chest. If you don't, then you can reach towards and you can stay stay with that extension of your leg. Take a big breath in wherever you are. And then softly releasing the foot if you have it, let it find the floor. Bring your hand back down underneath your shoulder, coming back into that tabletop position. We'll take one cat-cow, sinking the belly down, lifting the chest. Pressing into the palms, draw your navel round towards the spine. Coming back to a nice flat back, now we take it to the other side. Weight into the left hand, left toes pivot round behind, extending through the right leg, reach the right arm to the sky. So it might be nice to really press the sole of the right foot into the floor to begin with. Shoulders stacking, push your hips forward. And then reach the right arm so it comes alongside the ear. Feel the stretch down the side body. And then slowly, as we let the fingertips come down towards the mat, we offer a little bend into the knees, sinking the bottom towards the heels. Taking one more here, make it slow, indulge your movement in your body. Don't worry about how it looks, just move to what feels so nice. And then let's meet by reaching the right arm up to the sky, invitation to hover through that right leg. Either holding here or bending through the knee, reaching down and taking hold of the top of the foot, kicking the foot into the hand and opening through the chest. Staying for one more breath. Releasing wherever you are now. Softly allow yourself to come all the way back round into that tabletop shape. So bringing our hands underneath our shoulders again, we'll spread our fingers, tuck the toes beneath us, start to lift our hips up and back, coming to our first downward facing dog. So your feet as wide as your hips. And just like we did on all fours, I want you to really just pedal out, walk out that dog now. Feeling into the body, maybe the legs, the hamstrings. Give your head a little shake out, let go of any tension in the neck. So nice, pressing into your fingertips, find a little stillness. Bring your gaze between your ankles. Press down through the left heel and start to float that right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Begin to draw the knee beneath you, step or place that right foot through in between the hands. Once it's arrived, left knee drops to the floor, release the top of the left foot. Pressing into that front foot as you reach the arms up alongside the ears, coming into your low lunge. Lovely, soften those shoulders away from the ears. Press into the top of the left foot. Start to bend your elbows. Let your fingertips come to rest on your shoulders. And then we'll start to circle through the elbows. So circle the left elbow, then right elbow backwards. Nice, keeping it slow if you can. Like you're making the biggest circles you can with those elbows. Maybe you choose to do them together. So nice. And then finding softness. Reach both arms up towards the sky. And then softly allow the hands to come down to the floor, framing that front foot. Come up onto your fingertips. Draw your chest forward. Your pelvis is heavy here. Looking forward. Breathe in. And then super slowly start to send your hips back over the left knee, lifting your right toes up towards your chest. Okay, so if the hamstrings are feeling tight, we're going to repeat that little movement, shifting forward, lifting the chest, sending your hips back. So yeah, if those hamstrings are tight, keep a little bend in the knees, that's so fine. And maybe choose to walk the hands in a little closer towards you. So shifting your weight forward here, lifting the chest, pelvis sinks heavy. And then shifting our weight back so we can feel into the back of that right thigh, flex your toes. I'm going to take one more flow in here. Ground through the sole of the right foot, draw forwards. Send yourself back, and we're going to hold this time. So walking those hands a little closer. Lengthen through the right leg, flex the toes towards you. Really nice. Invitation to stay here with that left hand. Take it wide off your mat. Start to reach the right arm up towards the sky. Lift your gaze. Draw the crease of the right hip back. So yummy. And then softly as the hand comes down, let's rebend into that front knee. Bring the hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your knee up off the floor. Now ground that left heel down onto the mat. Press into the front foot as you wiggle the arms all the way up and over, bringing them parallel to the floor, warrior two. So you can straighten or shape through the legs and the arms, whatever you need. And then we'll begin to find stillness, sinking down, knee over ankle. Look forward over your front fingertips. Softly now dropping that right forearm onto the thigh as the left arm begins to reach up towards the sky, extended side angle. So lift your gaze up to that top hand, press down through the blade edge of your left foot. You might stay here or maybe bring the arm alongside the ear, palm faces down towards the floor. So feeling a stretch down the whole side of your body now. And then we'll softly circle that left arm all the way back down to the mat. Let the hands come down to frame that front foot and lift your back heel so everything is facing forward. You got it. Drop your left knee and release the toes. With your right foot, start to heel toe it to the outside edge of the mat. So as your hands come to the floor, they're under your shoulders. Draw your chest forward. Coming into our lizard pose, close your eyes. Breathe in and out through your nose. Letting go of any tension that you might have picked up in your face. If there's a little bit more space here, you might walk the hands forward or maybe come down onto your elbows, your forearms. Breathe in. Good job, everyone. Start to walk your hands back in if you're down. And then we're going to wiggle that right foot back to the center in between the hands. Bring your hands down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toe, lift your knee up. Step back into your plank position. Press through your heels. Then soften the knees down. Let the belly, chin, chest come all the way down to the floor. Step your hands wider than your shoulders. Press into your fingertips, peel your chest up, drop the shoulders away from the ears, a little cobra, hold. And then softly let it go. Bring your hands back onto your shoulders as your chest comes down. Pressing through that tabletop position, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So take a moment here to maybe find stillness in your down dog. Or maybe it feels good to be pedaling through the knees. And then we'll start to take that over to the left side. So pressing down through the right heel, left leg lifts to the sky, three-legged dog. Drawing the knee beneath us, we step the left foot through between the hands. Once it's arrived, right knee softens to the floor, release the toes. Making sure your knees over your ankles, you gather your arms alongside the ears coming into that low lunge. I'm going to show you from the front here. So once we're in our low lunge, we find that bend in our elbows. And then start to circle, with the elbows here. Nice. And you might choose to do them together. Or maybe you get the whole arm involved this time. Whatever feels so welcome in your body today. And then let's softly find a little release here. Releasing the hands down now, let's frame that front foot. Find your fingertips. Then draw the chest forward, let that pelvis become heavy. So you always lift the top of the heart space off the knee. And then softly sending your hips back, lengthening through the left leg, lift your toes. Now no cue in, just flowing here for a moment, breathing in perhaps as you come forwards and slowly exhaling as you shift back. Moving in your own rhythm with your own breath. Maybe the eyes are closed. The next time we draw ourselves back, drawing the crease of that left hip back, walk your hands a little closer. You might stay just here, or with the right fingertips, step them wide off your mat. Reach the left arm up to the sky, stacking your shoulders, lifting your gaze. Now notice if that left hip lifts up with you, which it might do so, can you draw it back down towards the earth? Breathing in through your nose And breathing out through your nose. And then beginning to find that bend in the front knee. Let your hands come down to frame that front foot. And then we'll tuck the back toes, lift the knee up off the floor. Ground the back heel down, toes turn 90 degrees, pressing into your front foot. So you can wimble your arms up and over, coming into your warrior two. Looking forward over your front fingertips. Arms stay parallel with the floor. Take a moment to pause. And then softly you drop left forearm onto the thigh. Reach the right arm up to the sky, lift your gaze. So imagine I have your right hand here and I'm lifting you up. You want to feel something in that side body. And then maybe you start to bring the arm alongside the ear, palm faces down. Keep pressing into the blade edge of that right foot. We'll softly release the right hand down now. Let it circle all the way back round, dropping down onto the mat as we lift our back heel up and bring our hands down to frame that front foot. Drop your right knee to the floor, release the toes. Heel toe that left foot to the outside edge of the mat. Hands come under your shoulders. Pelvis is heavy, chest draws forward. Close the eyes. Lizard pose. I'm going to show you from the front too here. So we're here. Nice. Maybe you're choosing to drop down to the elbows. Or walk the hands a little further forward. Softening through the jaw. Letting that breath just flow through your nose. Breathing in. And breathing out. Gather yourself back up onto your palms. Start to heel toe that left foot to the center of the hands. Tuck your right toes, lift your knee up. This time we're going to step back into our plank and then we're dropping our knees to the floor. Let your bottom come back so you're stacking over your knees, and we're going to come into a puppy or heart to earth pose here. So maybe you drop down onto your forearms and it feels so nice to stay here, almost allow that arch through the back body. Or maybe you slide the fingertips forward, allowing the forehead to melt down towards the mat. Your elbows might be up, maybe they're down. Every exhale breath, allowing that softness to creep in, and we offer the heart, the chest down a little further to the mat. Breathing through your nose. And so slowly, start to pad your way back in. Come into that tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift up into a lazy down dog, just enough so you can pad your feet to the front of the mat to let them settle down behind the wrists. Belly bounce over the thighs, release through the back of the neck, forward fold. It might be nice to catch hold of your elbows here and invite a sway into the body. Take some rolls out through the head. And then gently allow the fingers to come down. Start to turn your toes out, bring your heels in, bend through both knees. Let your bottom come down, all the way towards the heels, our yogi squat pose. And once you arrive, I quite like to keep the fingers on the floor and alternate dropping the knees in. If you like to balance, you might bring the hands onto the thighs. Feeling into the hips. Finding stillness now. Let your hands come down behind your bottom and come to sit all the way down on your mat. Cross through your legs. Come to find a seated position. I'm going to show you this one from the side. So finding that lift up through the crown of the head. Start to reach for your left knee with your right hand. And the left hand starts to reach towards the back of your room. Breathing in, lifting through that crown. And exhale, twisting. And when you softly release, switching sides, taking hold of that right knee now with the left hand. And the right fingertips drop or reach down behind you. Try not to force the neck round. Can you lead with the shoulder?
And then softly allowing yourself to come all the way back round to a seated position. Allowing the palms to come together, maybe closing your eyes, and then start to rub those palms together. Building a little bit of heat, a bit of energy. And then releasing, letting the hands place over the eyes. Take a moment here. Flicker the eyes open. And then softly releasing the hands back down onto your lap. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing that practice with me today, and I wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.